Hello and welcome to another edition of Lab Rats. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
And today we have a little bit of technology voodoo for you. This is a hard episode. This is an episode I think that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've been very frightened of it.
I'm already frightened. I don't even know what it is.
Yes, you do. One of the most common questions that people get today, we get, and people who do jobs like Leo was telling me the other day, is how do we network between two systems, specifically between Vista, the brand new operating system from Microsoft, and XP, the old operating system from Microsoft.
When you say brand new, you mean a year old, of course.
Well, brand new relative to XP, which is 6 years old now.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the most recent episode of a version of Windows.
Yeah, I guess that's it. People are a little bit put off by Vista in general, I think, and so
I don't blame
it is kind of brand new to a lot of people, even though it is a year old.
Get my book. Get my book. Because
get this out of the way early.
Vista is a flawed operating system, except if you have one other product. If you purchase one more product, the no, the Windows Vista Help Desk by me, then it'll work flawlessly. Okay, maybe not. Anyway, so today we're going to show you how to network between Windows Vista and Windows XP. So, without further ado, unless you have anything to say, Mr. Carruthers, we'll take a break.
I think a break would be fine.
All right. We'll see you after this.
If a bunny was the new Camtasia Studio 5, it would be the fastest, it would be the smartest, and you would love it. The new Camtasia Studio 5, screencasting software that's better than a bunny. Download it at www.techsmith.com.
All right, so we have a lot of work to do here, Mr. Carruthers, because this is not a particularly easy task, and the troubleshooting side of it can be a bit onerous, if we discovered in the prep for this episode.
Yes, we did.
So let me say first of all, I think you probably should start by connecting both systems onto the same home network router. Now, a home network router is designed to share your internet connection, as well as creating a home network, so the two devices are connected to each other. This can be either wirelessly or wired. I would suggest that, if you want to have a trouble-free troubleshooting process, then you should probably wire them into your router initially until you have confidence the networking is working, then switch to wireless after that.
Yeah, because if you can't get it working and you're on wireless, it could be a number of things and not necessarily just the networking process.
That's right. So you want to, I mean, the thing about networking is there's so many things that can go wrong. You want to eliminate as many as humanly possible to start out with. So we have two systems here. One's running XP Pro. This one here is running Windows Vista Home Premium. And they are both connected through a router. In this particular case, they're connected wirelessly.
Yes, it's somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there. Start with your Vista machine. So what I always do with the Vista machine is we'll go initially to the Network and Sharing panel, center, which is a brand new feature in Vista that makes networking and file sharing across a home network relatively easy. So I'm going to type that into my little start bar down there. I'm going to click it. And what you're going to want to do is, because you're nice and hidden behind a router, which has its own built-in firewall from the internet, it's safe to go to customize the system, and which I'm going to click on here, as you see, customize. I'm going to put it into private mode. Now, private mode means that I know all the systems inside of my network. I know none of them are a threat. You would use the other setting public if you were, for example, at a Starbucks coffee shop or at the airport, or at a network, connected to a network that you weren't familiar with. So private basically opens up all the doors.
Right.
It says, yeah, come on, baby.
That doesn't make sense. Private opens the doors?
I know.
When I want some privacy, I close them.
Right. But it's a private network. Get it?
The doors are closed. No one else is getting in.
Yes. So it's safe to share amongst ourselves.
Okay.
Get it? Get it.
All right. I get it.
So I'm set to private here, and what that does is it allows a bunch of things to be turned on automatically. One of the nice things in Vista now is something called network discovery. And what this is basically an advertising, digital advertising mechanism that says, I am a Vista machine, I am here. I am here on the network. Hello, hello.
Over here.
So that when your XP machine goes looking for other machines on the network, it'll find it. It'll find your Vista machine very, very easily. The other thing that you want to make sure of is that both systems, and it's less important for Vista, but the XP system is on the same work group, which is sort of a holdover from the old Office and business networking days of Windows, especially 3.1, I think, 3.11. But anyway, so what you want to do is, if you want to click on Start there, Sean,
Right.
and you want to go to your control panel, and then System, and you want to click on Computer Name, and then you can click on the Network ID.
Network ID. Helps you connect your computer to a network.
That's right. Click Next.
My company uses a network with
You want to
a domain or
So
without
my
a
company
domain.
uses a network without a domain. Next. And there's your work group, or your work group name. So you want that to be the same on the XP machine as it is on all the other machines you want to connect to. And by default, it's either one of two things. It's either work group, all caps,
I know the other one. It's MS Home.
MS Home. Yeah, exactly. And for some reason, if you have the Home edition of Windows XP, it becomes MS Home.
Right, and I guess you would set these things up in different work group names in case you had different spots within a company and you didn't necessarily want them sharing data between the two, but you wanted them to use the same physical network.
Right, and this is the legacy. It comes from a business environment, of course. This was all designed before there was such things as home networks.
So work group, I'm guessing, is a placeholder name that's used. Put your work group here. That just sort of became the default name of the work
The
group.
work group, yeah, exactly.
It's like, put caption here.
But later on, if you're not named the same work group and you try to browse the network, you will only see yourself, your own system in this particular case. This is more clever in that it'll find all the work groups and find all the systems inside of those as well. So that's item number one. Item number two, and we discovered this the hard way before we started the segment. Turn off any firewalls, third-party firewalls, I would say, or you have to configure a firewall to allow for home networking to occur.
Right, so if you do want to do some home networking, but you also want to go out on the network, if you turn off your firewall and your antivirus and all that other stuff, you're going to be in serious trouble.
You are.
So turn it off at the very first to make sure that that's not the problem.
Right.
And then punch your
turn
hole
it
through
off.
after the fact.
Now, I know fundamentally that the Norton Internet Security Suite drives home networkers absolutely crazy. And we had a machine we were testing. We had Norton Suite on there. We turned everything off, and still we couldn't get the thing to see the network at all.
Yep. And then I thought to myself, I got XP on this Macintosh,
Yeah, and
which
sure
is now whirring away trying to run Windows on this machine. If that's what you can hear in the background. But guess what? No Norton, it's running.
It's running fine. So and I would say the same thing of some of the other brand name suites. It's going to cause problems. So you might want to try to either turn off the firewall and other security features. And if you have persistent problems, you may want to uninstall it completely to see if that's not the problem.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Some of them have a feature that allow you to just disable it for 5 minutes
Yeah.
as well. So try that first before disabling it entirely.
Right.
Because if you're going to need it again in the future, you don't want to start ripping the guts out of it.
Right.
Because that could cause problems down the road.
So over here, and so then there's two more things you want to do that are kind of custom. Over on the XP machine, let's go into, what do you want to do? We want to check our network connections. So start, control panel, network connections. You want to right-click on that connection. Oh, actually, that's that. Yeah, that's right. Okay, right-click on that.
Connection. Okay.
You're going to choose Properties.
So you may have multiple items in here.
Yeah.
If you have more than one network adapter in your machine.
You want to choose the active one. And then you want to make sure that file and printer sharing from Microsoft Networks is enabled, is turned on.
So we have it on. We can turn it off there if we don't want to share, but we're going to turn it back on
Absolutely.
here.
If you don't have that turned on, no matter what you do, your XP machine will not do any kind of networking or sharing at all. So click on OK there. Now over here on the Vista machine, what I want to do is I want to make sure that my file sharing mechanism here is turned on. And it already is because I've set it to private. It actually does this for me. That my public folder sharing is turned on, and I'll tell you about what that is in a second because that's important. Printer sharing, if you're not sharing a printer locally, then you don't have to worry about that. password protected sharing is a good idea because you want to protect, you want it to prompt for a password for good security. And then media sharing is where you're sharing music between media player 11. Yeah, again, optional there. But for basic networking, turn things off you don't need and turn on those other items there. So at that point, this Vista machine should be fully ready to talk to the network and talk to that machine. And this machine over here should be fully ready to do it on this side too. Now, I will suggest one thing too, is that you turn off simple file sharing on the XP machine, and that won't be possible on XP Home, but it will be possible on XP Pro.
I believe you can do it on XP Home with a bit of a hack.
With a bit of a hack, well.
But the XP Pro, there's just a checkbox.
Yeah. So simple. So let's do that now. So if you want to turn off that, you want to open up Windows Explorer. So start all programs, accessories. And you want to choose Windows Explorer. Now you can get to this from Control Panel as well. Now you want to go up to Tools and choose File Options.
File Options, okay.
And then choose View and scroll all the way to the bottom. I don't know why this setting is here, but you go to the bottom and you see it says Use Simple File Sharing Recommended. Turn that off.
Okay, so checkbox means it's on. Not checked means it's off, and that's what we want.
That's what we want, yeah. And the reason we're doing this is because we want a more granular security approach to networking, so that we can synchronize the two machines and only do it on a user ID and password. We can actually select those specifically. So that's pretty much all you have to do. Now, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to actually go to my network, and I click on network here on the start bar, start menu. And I can actually see now all the systems on my network, and I know that this is it. G4 Tech TV is
That's the one.
That's the machine.
You can see a couple other of my machines there that are kicking around the network.
Right. The other thing is you're going to want to do too, and this is probably once your simple file sharing is turned off, you're going to want to create an account that has a similar account on here. So we created an account on here called LabRat with the password LabRat. And
you just gave away the password.
Oopsie. And on that machine, we did the same thing. The nice thing about this now is, it doesn't like it, is that you should be able to now browse my system, and I should be able to browse your system.
Okay, well let me go the other way while we're bringing it, because that one crapped out for some reason.
Yeah.
And this is part of the problem with networking in general, is you do have these crazy little freakouts occasionally. So we're going to go to my computer, my network places. I'm going to go View Workgroup Computers, and there we have Andy XPS, and that's the machine you're on right now.
I'm on right now.
So we've already connected to it earlier, so at that point, when we connect to it for the first time, it'll ask us for a username and a password. So we'll do LabRat and LabRat, and sometimes with older networks, they were set up so that if you had the same username and password, you wouldn't even have to enter that in. It would just automatically log you onto that on the remote machine.
So in this particular case, we did that previously. When you first time double click on it, you would type in the user ID LabRat, which is the account here, and the password LabRat. Now, what you're showing there is two folders, and let's talk about each one individually. Starting with the users, if you double click on the user folder there, I've created an account called LabRat. And as you can see, if you click in there, you're going to see the desktop and all the documents for that user. Actually, the desktop is the only one that is available right now because I'm sharing specifically one file in there.
Right, and you would set up specific folders and files to share.
To share, exactly.
And we've got ABBA songs.
Right.
I'm going to open it up, and we've got Camtasia Studio 5.
Yes.
And Personal Call.
Yeah, I didn't put any ABBA songs in there, unfortunately.
I remember the song Camtasia Studio 5. Camtasia Studio 5.
Da, 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 da.
It's a rich man's... Wait, that's not
something like
right.
that. Anyway, one other thing that I will show you right now, because Sean's already getting here and getting onto this folder, but let me show you how let's create a new folder here so that he can see. And I'm going to right click and, hang on, let me just create the folder first. What other band songs should we create here? What's your favorite song?
Yeah, let's go with Weaker Thans.
Weaker Thans. All right, Weaker Thans.
That's close enough.
All right. I'm going to right click on that because I'm going to share this file, and I'm going to choose Properties, Sharing. I click on the Share button. And then I'm going to pull down this blank, and I don't get this why Microsoft didn't redesign this, but you're going to pull this down, and you're going to see all the users potentially that are on this system. So what I want to choose is the LabRat, which we've actually created a duplicate account on that. and I'm going to say add, and I'm going to say share. This is going to take a minute. It'll share it. I'm going to click on done. So it's going to go in there. Now the other thing you can do, of course, from that menu is you can actually choose everyone as well. So everyone who's available on this system can access that as well. Occasionally you still have some strange XP-isms. Sometimes it doesn't like it. In fact, it's kind of struggling here right now. But it'll find it.
It's finding it.
It's finding it.
It's finding it.
Exactly. So, and there you go.
Oh, so we're in ABBA songs again, so we're going to go up one. I think I might have double-clicked too fast.
Right. Money, 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 it must be funny in a rich man's... Well, there you go.
So ABBA songs in, so there we go. We got them both there. Now, sharing a folder on the XP side is a roughly equivalent process, so we're going to set up a new folder here called Andy is a Wiener.
Right.
And then we're going to right-click on it, hit Properties, and actually we don't even need to do that because actually we'll cancel it. You'll see we have the Sharing and Security tabs here, but we've also got in that drop-down menu Sharing and Security, so we can just go straight for that. So bring that over. Do not share this folder or share this folder. I'll just click on that. Share name, Andy is a Wiener, comment, blah, blah, blah. And then we can actually set a number of users that can use it. So if you've got a bunch of people on your network, you can limit it to 1 or 2 at a time so it doesn't bog your machine down. And then you can actually change permissions here as well for who is in your list of users here can do what to it. You can set it up so they can't even, delete it or execute. They can just see that it's there. Right. But you can set that up on a fairly
And this is actually in play because we've disabled simple file sharing. And that gives you all those options. You don't see those options, go make sure you go in and uncheck that simple file sharing option so you get all those that granular property settings. Okay, now we make it sound really simple, and sometimes you're going to be banging your head against the wall. You don't know what's going on. So there could be numerous things that are a problem. Make sure you have good connections. Make sure there's no firewall or security software. That is the 2 key things that you're going to run into in Windows networking problems. But that's how to do it.
Yeah, and we're networking Vista with XP, but you could do it from XP to XP and Vista to Vista, and Vista to Mac, XP to Mac.
Which is what I did in the Windows Vista Help Desk. I actually show you how to do it. Vista to Mac and XP to Mac.
Well done.
XP to Vista. I didn't do XP to XP, but maybe that's the next book.
Well, that would be silly to put that into a Vista book.
That's true.
Anyways, there you go.
All right, well, let's take a break. Yep. When we come back, we're going to have some viewer pictures.
Viewer pictures, and I'm going to show you one more solution as well to networking in the home. That's a little bit different than the one we just showed.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right, well, stay with us, and we'll back after this message. Well, the nice thing about really difficult episodes is that there's always more to say, and we have a couple of bonus tips here. I'll start. One of the things about Vista is it has a new function called public folders. So it's a folder designed to be open to everybody on a network. So, and it can be found at, let's click on the Windows button here and click on Computer. And if you go to the C drive and then Users, whatever you're logged in, the folder will be there. So normally I'm logged in, we were logged in as Lab Rat here. There's also my folder there, Andy. But at that level is something called public. You double click on there. That's the public folders on this specific machine. Now, I don't know if you noticed before, if you go back and look at when Sean was browsing my machine, the option was users or public. That public folder was this public folder on this system. So it's a great way, it's kind of like a bucket you can chuck stuff into. Now, it has reduced security, right? So you have to make sure that you don't put anything in there that's precious, because if somebody comes and gets onto your network, either on an unprotected wireless network or somebody visits, they're going to see whatever in that folder. So that's just a
remember, XP also has a folder called Shared.
Right.
So.
In the similar vein.
There you go.
Yes. All right. And you have another tip?
Right, if you're doing a lot of sharing all the time, but all the machines, one of the things about this is the machines at the other end always have to be turned on. So if you're in a situation where the machine at the other side of the network isn't necessarily always going to be on, so for example, there's one in the rec room downstairs.
How do you turn on another machine? Do you like blow them in their ear and buy them candy?
Yes, so if...
I love you, machine.
Yes, yeah, it's very turned on right now with you talking to it like that. So the machines have to be powered on.
Powered on. Got it.
They have to be powered on
Got it.
for you to be able to share
All right.
to and from there. So that's not always necessarily the case. So for example, you've got a machine in the bedroom, for example, then you don't want powered up because it'll keep you awake because it's making this noise right here. But sometimes you want to get that data to and from other machines. Network attached storage is a good way to deal with this.
NAS.
NAS. So what you can do is
NAS
get...
is nice.
Yes.
Not nasty.
Not nasty. You can get a device like this. We've got the Platinum NAS here from Micronet. This is one such device. It's a little bit more user configurable. You can actually pull the drives in and out in arrayed configuration, but you can also get just single drive units.
This is a hard drive with a network card on it, right?
Right, basically, yeah. So we'll just show you here if we can get this open. It's a bunch of hard drives in here that will pop out. And you can get a single enclosed unit that you don't have access to the drives, but it's essentially a hard drive that you pop onto your network, and it creates logons for various users, so you can share data across your network.
Oh, so in this particular, this doesn't connect to your computer, it connects to your router.
It connects directly to the router.
So as you can see here, if you can see it, where is it? There are a couple of Ethernet ports here. So the idea is you connect that into your router, right? And it would become a node on your home network.
Right, and so anyone can get access to this anytime this is on. So if you know you're about to go to sleep, but someone else needs that thing, you just dump it to the folder on here that you know where it's going to go, and then when the other person wakes up, they can pull it off.
Now you take 1 million photographs. Is that what you use these for?
I actually use this for my music collection more than anything else, but you could use this for backup as well. You could use it for sharing data to and from machines around the house. So, for example, my wife has music as well, and I have music, so we can share it through something like this. I can put mine on here, and she can put hers on here, and we can both have access to each other's collection anywhere in the house.
Right, wow. All the ABBA Gold hits.
It's
wow.
All the hits.
Crazy. Cool, all right. Now I want to see some pictures.
We've got more pictures.
I like the pictures. Oh, more cats.
We have more cats. This is Matt and his cat, Thomas. And I wanted to let you know, Matt, that the first cat that I had, not my very first cat ever, but the first cat that was really my cat, was named Thomas as well.
Oh, well, there you go. That's
another
great.
Siamese cat, too.
Awesome.
So,
love your pets, guys. And you know, you can send pictures of your dogs, too, you know.
This is Nicholas from Argentina.
Yay. We have lots of people in Argentina, don't we?
Yeah, we got Argentina, Brazil.
Yeah.
We got a good South American contingent, which is really good.
Right.
And I think Nicholas probably used this as his MySpace photo at some point.
Oh, yeah.
It's got that kind of dreamy look.
I'm super cool kind of look.
But no, that's cool.
Hey, Nicholas.
But you can tell that's his computer in the background, and I'm sure he's running lab rats on that one.
Clearly, absolutely.
Yeah. And this is Gary from Port Coquitlam, right here in BC.
We're actually not far away from here.
In Vancouver. So yeah, this is just down the road.
Right, very good.
You can tell this was taken a couple months ago, though, because...
It's dry?
It's dry.
Who's the dog? Do we know the name of the dog? His dog?
I don't know if he told us. He may have.
Very cute.
If he did, it'll be down here. Otherwise, there'll be something here that says, put caption here.
All right. Thanks. That's great. Oh, there's more.
There is more. This is Nick from Toronto with his dad and his younger brother.
Sweet.
And his dad looks a little bit like our old pal Gio.
He does, doesn't he?
He does.
Gio lent us all his lighting gear at the very beginning.
So I imagine Nick is the one in the cap and the striped shirt. So.
Well, thank you, Nick. Lots of Nicholases this week. Very good.
Yes. And that's it.
Well, thanks, guys. So don't forget, keep sending your pictures. We've got an ample supply, and just have some patience. We'll get to them eventually. You can send them to
feedback@labrats.tv.
And make sure you send them in the right orientation, otherwise Sean's going to get mad.
And make sure that they're not too big and not too small.
Just right.
Because if they're too big, they clog our inbox. If they're too small, you look like you're covered with sand. Because it gets all grainy.
Photo tips next on Lab Rats.
That's a good idea.
It's a good idea. All right. Thanks for downloading today. You know, we really... Oh,
Don't go yet, because I actually wanted to mention something.
oh, now what?
You may have seen when I was working in Windows XP that we had a little lab rat sticker running across the top
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And we haven't mentioned it in an episode before, and I just wanted to say that was written by one of our fans, Craig.
Right.
And it is available for download at the labrats.tv
That's
site. So if
true.
you haven't gone to labrats.tv, you're just downloading this through iTunes or from one of the other services, head on over to our site, check that out, and download it, and it'll let you know what's new in the world of lab rats.
Lab rat sticker. Very good. All right. It runs on in Mac and Windows? Or just Windows, right?
It runs on Windows.
Windows, yeah. Good. Like everything else in the world. All right. That's it from us. Thank you for downloading this week. We really like that you're on that side of the camera and that we're on this side of the camera, because it would be foolish if we were here and you weren't there. My name is Andy Walker.
I'm Sean Carruthers.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Are you ready? Try this at home.
Yeah. Nice.
Look at the
burping.
look of disgust over on the other side of the camera.
That's right, exactly. You guys are disgusting.
We are.
We are kind of. All right, ready?